Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm a few minutes late for starting this live stream. And happy Mother's Day to those of you who are mothers. No mothers, pet parents. If you're the parent of a fur baby, then happy Mother's Day to you too. All right. So, yeah, good. Yeah, I apologize for missing last month. My daughter had a dance competition, happened to have been on that Sunday. So we don't find out sometimes until a few days beforehand exactly what day and time those competitions or the entries are going to be. So sometimes it's kind of like a last minute cancellation or something I have to do on creaky bench. Sorry about that. So yeah, let me know. Feel free to jump in with your questions because it is Mother's Day. I'm going to try to keep this a little bit short. Let me see. Top chat. I always have it on top chat for some reason, even though I'm on all the chat. I'm missing anybody's questions. So, Justin Lack, hi, nice to have you on here. And Gregory Allen, hi. And he said you just started watching my videos today. You're finding them very inspirational. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy to hear that. Please let me know if you have questions. And Gracie May, you can't wait to watch. You've been more important. Um, how have you been more important? Where have you been? Yeah, somebody else asked me that question recently too. So, Rosanna's friend, who has been a long time follower and subscriber of this channel, she was asking me the same thing too. Without getting into all the details, I've got some pretty major stuff happening in my personal life right now. So I've been kind of, got a lot of things going on, and I'm trying to sort out behind the scenes. So the YouTube channel I've kind of stepped away from just a little bit. I do plan to come back. I've got some videos planned, and I think due to all of the stress and everything that's going on in my personal life, my immune system has been kind of a little wonky. So I've been dealing with now 5.5 weeks. I've been dealing with bronchitis, so I have a little bit of vocal fold swelling. So I haven't really been feeling much up to recording videos. I feel fine. I just can't really do any videos that require effective demonstrations. So that's what's been going on. So yeah, thank you for your patience. Bear with me. I will come back to recording videos a little bit more regularly, but right now I have to sort out a bunch of things and get my head back. All right. Thank you for asking though. John Prop, hi there. Long time no watch. Yeah, I know. It's been like a couple months. And James, I'm so happy to see you. How are you doing? Yeah, let me know what you have, what questions you guys have. Feel free to jump right in with them. I don't really have a specific um, lesson in mind. When I come into these, I just kind of jump right into answering questions. Excuse me. I did want to say something though, as we're approaching summertime. I know that a lot of singers take breaks, especially if you're somebody who takes lessons on a regular basis. And I know this as a voice studio owner that oftentimes singers will take a break during the summertime just because things get busy with vacations and people don't want to have to necessarily be kind of running around. And I know as a parent of 4 children who do many activities, I welcome that break from activities. I find it very not only time consuming, but just exhausting sometimes, just chauffeuring them around everywhere. So sometimes it's nice to take a little bit of a break from activities. In our case, it's multiple dance classes a week. We do continue with music lessons because I feel that that's a really important thing. You don't want to be missing 2 months of music lessons. But I'd be curious to know what you guys do to keep up with your voice training and just practicing keeping your vocal skills up, especially if you're somebody who does take voice lessons but who kind of finds the summers to be a little bit difficult to keep up with that. I'd be curious to know how you guys manage that in your day. I don't know if there are just no questions or if this isn't scrolling properly, so let me know. Normally I've got everybody just kind of popping on with questions. So. Oh, just wait a minute. But yeah, let me know. So I feel like, I mean, you've probably been told this a lot, right? That if you take music lessons, if you take singing lessons, that your body has a way of developing muscle memory, right? And those skills are things that you have to hone on a daily basis. You have to make sure that at least on a regular basis, you are practicing the skills and you're drilling them so that you develop that muscle memory, so that you drill that technique into your working technique. And it's really important for us to not stop during the summer, even though things do get busy and we'd rather sometimes relax and hang out by the beach or whatever. So just make sure that you are keeping up with your singing through the really busy summer season. Busy and relaxing at the same time. I don't know how that works. All right, hi there. I'm having trouble fighting with my head voice. Excuse me. I'm having even more trouble with my resonance. Everything is sounding very flat. Are you talking flat in intonation or flat in like color, as in brightness? It just sounds a little dull, maybe in lackluster. Yeah, let me know. Specify what you mean by that, please, and then it'll kind of help me figure out what you're talking about or what would work better for you. So with head voice, are you able to do lip or tongue tip trills? Or lip stuff on there. If you're able to do those are a nice thin edge function. They encourage the vocal folds to thin a little bit, so you're not bringing up a lot of weight, and they make a really, really great warm-up exercise. You can do those on sirens, those going up and down the scale, scales, melodies of any sort really will work for that. So those are really great for accessing that thin edge function of the vocal folds. And are you guys able to see me? Because right now it looks like you're not able to see me. I am not seeing myself in the window at all. Let me know, because this looks different from how it normally looks. I just realized that. It's normally I see myself on the screen. Anyway, I'm sorry. A little ADHD there. So for the first thing you want to do is just make sure that you can access head voice. It sounds as though you're able to, and doing the lip and tongue trills are great for accessing that thin edge function, but obviously they produce a lighter sound, and that's not necessarily going to give you the full sound that you're looking for. And that's where you really need to start thinking in terms of your breath and making sure you're really connecting with the breath. I love that V exercise. I've done it before. And then you would go up the scale. Sorry, bronchitis still. So with that exercise, it's nice because you're getting this V. You've got this semi-occlusion. So there's only a tiny, tiny, tiny opening through which the air can pass, and that creates a positive back pressure within the vocal tract, which in turn keeps the vocal tract nice and open and released. And then it also helps us to square up the vocal folds so that we get just the right amount of muscle mass involved. And it really awakens these support muscles, especially the transverse and oblique muscles, I find. If you were to do like a with that revving kind of action, you would really feel these transverse and oblique muscles engaging a lot. You don't want to be engaging them and contracting them quite that much when you're singing, but those muscles still should activate as you sing. So the V is really nice with that. Plus you've got an E vowel, which is a vowel that's very conducive to head voice. So it works really well. And if you just ensure that when you're singing the V portion, you're not changing anything considerably about how you're supporting your singing tone, you should be able to get a fuller sound in general. Guys, please let me know if you can't see me, because I'm really not seeing. I know that there are a lot of you who are on here today. It is Mother's Day, and I know it's kind of a quiet day, but I just have a bad feeling about it. Can you see me? I was able to see myself in the OBS window, but I'm not seeing myself in the YouTube window, and it says it's waiting for me. I do not know. I don't know what that means at all. Anyway, what you may find with that, Gracie, though, is that you get kind of a darker sound. I don't know what style you like to sing in, if you're singing in contemporary styles or you're leaning more toward liturgical or classical. You will tend to get a darker sound than what you may have in certain contemporary styles because the vocal tract is more open. The larynx does tend to sit a little bit lower due to that nice positive back pressure and how things are supporting. And you may find that the sound initially is a little bit dull, but the E can help a little bit with that because the E has a natural ring and brightness to it, so that can help you find a better ring for your sounds. If you have a certain vowel that you find really effective for you in head voice, excuse me, E and U are really kind of your head voice vowels due to their low first formants, and that enables us to be able to kind of move into head voice resonance with those vowels earlier. So if you're able to find some nice ring on those vowels, you can use them as sort of springboards or pilot vowels into your other vowels, and you can work toward bringing in some of the ring and brightness of the E and oo into your ahs and ohs and so forth. I think you're seeing the chat from the reminder and not your actual live. Okay. I just want to know if you guys can see me. That's all. If you guys can see me, I'm okay with that because, quite frankly, when I can see myself, it gets kind of distracting because there's a little delay. So, as long as I'm able to see the chat, and as long as I'm able to see you're able to see me, that I think we're okay. So just please confirm that. But yeah, does anybody else have any other questions today? Again, I'm going to try to keep this on the shorter side so I can go and make some crystals with my children. I've got this Smithsonian crystal kit that we're going to be using, and we're going to start making some crystals. Part of homeschooling, I guess. Yeah, so how is everybody doing? How is your singing coming along? Let me know. Let me know what your questions are. And we'll go from there. Yeah, I wonder. I'm going to fiddle around here a little bit. So I see myself on OBS, so that's good. Very quiet day today. It says some people are waiting. I don't know what that means. You're waiting to get in. Very strange. So YouTube recently changed how things look in the live streaming. And so I had a little bit of difficulty actually navigating that. And I don't know if that's part of it here that they've changed the look and just ever how you access live streaming and what have you. So, but Gracie, let me know if that answers your question well enough. I feel really awkward here, sitting around chatting. Yeah, head voice. Head voice is an interesting thing. I think one of the things I will say about head voice, since I'm waiting for questions, is that just like belting and other aspects of singing and other techniques, there are different aesthetics for head voice. How head voice sounds for a classical singer is going to sound different from how it sounds for a musical theater singer or for a pop singer. And I think we need to take that into consideration when we're training in head voice. And ultimately, I think it's great to cross train and for us to be able to sing with both a classical and a non-classical sounding head voice. However, we need to ultimately learn to be able to shape that sound so that it sounds authentic to the genre in which we sing. And we'll find that I find that with musical theater, for example, which is a lot of what I sing, is we aim for a very clear, speaky kind of vowel as opposed to classical singing that has these tall, rounded vowels. So the same note will sound different depending on the style that you're going for because there's a different aesthetic aim with those different styles. And so we shape our vocal tracks accordingly. And also with classical singing, generally speaking, head voice is fuller and louder. Generally speaking, classical singers are self-amplified, so they don't use microphones. Whereas contemporary singers, such as myself, we can get away with a lot more. We can get away with using our resonance even less efficiently or effectively in contemporary styles because we don't have the same need to self-amplify. We don't need to be able to have our voices carry over an orchestra, for example, when we've got a microphone that we can be using. So the sound is going to be different. I find when I'm training, excuse me, lots of stuff still going on for me. I find that when I'm training head voice, I like to train it more as a head mix in which the vowels still kind of sound like there's speech-like sounds. So we might do like let's see. I love the Ming Na exercise. Ming Na Na. I don't go Na. I don't like loft the soft palate a lot. I don't allow the vocal tract to get really that sort of yawny space there. It's a narrower space. It feels different from when I'm singing with more of a lofted soft palate and a wider pharyngeal base, for example. So that's one of the exercises that I use for training a head mix. And I feel that that's probably the most effective shaping of the vocal tract for a lot of contemporary styles. I'm going very bright, very musical theater with it. In a pop style, you might want to warm that up a little bit, but that could be less a matter of changing the shape considerably inside the throat and more a matter of darkening the vowel kind of more at the mouth level. There are so many different ways in which we can play around with the sounds that we're making and shape them slightly differently to fit our aesthetic and stylistic needs. So yeah, it just understand. I guess my point is that there are different aesthetics with head voice. It's not there's just not one particular way in which we sing head voice that is right, and all other ways are wrong. Obviously, healthy singing technique needs to prevail. We need to make sure that we feel comfortable and that the sound is healthy, whether it's big and full or smaller, and then we just apply what we know about that healthy singing technique to the songs that we're singing. Yeah, I am not seeing any chat at all here, guys, after Gracie's last comment. So I don't know if you guys are just particularly quiet today, or if there was something wrong with how things got set up in YouTube here. So yeah, I will just hang out for a couple more minutes with you, and if I don't see any more questions coming into the chat section or any more talk amongst yourselves even, then I will call it a day and I will go make some crystals with my children. All right. Yeah, I've got it on live chat, not top chat. Yeah, I don't know. Well, you're able to see. Yeah, just please confirm that you're able to watch this because I feel really odd here just doing this. I can't even tell if you guys can see me. It says, I think you're seeing the chat from a reminder and not your actual live. Okay, so that's what I guess why I'm not getting questions. I don't know what happened here. So maybe I will end this chat today and I will try again and we'll see if there's something wrong. It's very odd. It looks very different from how it normally does. All right. I will come back on and we will see if we can get this to work better. I'll be back in a few minutes. All right. Bye now.